Hello Loop, if you're still there. Can't remember, vous êtes français? If so, bonjour. Just doing some testing at the moment.
Anybody see anything? Negative, all clear, over.
Looks like I have a viewer according to the count. I'm gonna go into DCS and see if I get issues. I'm getting issues here because when I squeeze my button to fire my cannons, it simply locks on my smaller caliber guns. So I'm gonna come out of this, go into DCS and see how it behaves.
check.
Yep, checked. Receiving?
Yeah, I had to boost your volume up a bit. It's been
Oh, okay.
down this. I think what I'm going to do in future is, well, I've actually already made the purchase, I just haven't installed it and put it all in place. Is, the virtual interconnects you can get for voice meter and the phone.
The what? Virtual? Oh, the lead?
The virtual cables.
Yeah.
I've bought the other pair of cables with the idea that I can then, in the same way as we do now, segregate. We use the virtual cable to segregate the other Discord client.
Yeah.
I could use that to be able to control the volume of Discord on the stream as well, separate from everything else. So if we know that levels are, if all the people within chat are on a level volume, even if they're quiet, we can then use voice meter to boost up that application over everything else.
That sounds good. I think I might do that as well then. I've only got the one cable.
Yeah, so I think I bought them September last year. It's just I've not really had a chance to sit down and put it all in place.
Okay, right. I'm going to concentrate a bit on taking off. I'm in DCS because I'm getting definite issues in War Thunder. In as much as I fire my 7.7s with the first pressure, when I put the second pressure to fire the cannons, it simply locks the 7.7s on, so I never get to fire the cannons, and it just runs all the ammo out on the 7.7s. So I'm just going to make sure everything's working okay here, which I believe it is. So I'm just going to take off, give it a try.
Okay. No need to respond, of course, but I'll start being active in War Thunder, and then we can regroup. Okay.
I'm not sure how I'll be able to use War Thunder at the moment. I can't really use it. It might be well, simply because the guns aren't working right. They're just completely wrong. And what happens? What I've actually noticed is when I squeeze my second pressure on the trigger, what it does, you know, when you hover over the side of a window and you get a two-way arrow, meaning that you can resize. When I hit my trigger, it puts my cursor over on the left-hand side of the main screen with a two-way arrow. So it's like when I squeeze that trigger for the second pressure, it's actually saying it's put me in a position to resize the window.
That sounds more like your profile.
The profile, what? Windows profile? Or target, because I've already considered target. Yeah,
target.
So it sounds that something might have gone odd in target, so I'd have to come out of everything to make sure of what it's doing, make sure it's doing the right thing. In the meantime, I'm going to take it off, give it a try.
Sure.
Right, I took off okay. I'm now going to make the turn to go to the usual bunch of static trucks on the grass and see what happens. I'm almost certainly going to get that usual freeze that I get, but I'll see how it behaves. Make sure that I can fire 7.7s and then cannons. I'm sure I can, but I just want to make sure. The other voice is Laxor. And that was fine. I fired my 7.7s and released the trigger on the 7.7s, fired 7.7s again and put the second pressure on the trigger. It fired cannons, I released and it was all fine. So it's the profile, the target profile, that's sending out the wrong messages for War Thunder. So I'd have to find out what that should be and make it so. I'm just going to make another turn, another little attack, simply because it's quite nice.
Okay. I was going to get something going in War Thunder just because it's a slightly lighter brain mode than DCS.
To what, sorry?
I was going to get something started in War Thunder, but only because it's got slightly lighter brain requirement than DCS.
Oh yeah. Okay, well I've proven my point. I'm going to go and land, I think, simply because I will. I could just push my escape button, I guess, and get out, but don't feel right to do that, does it? It kind of takes the realism out of it if you just push a button to get out. I'm opening my canopy, so it's going to get noisy. Gear going down. And flaps. Okay, that wasn't a bad landing actually. So, I can't remember what I need to set it up for to fire my cannons. I've got to do a bit of research on that to find out.
Well, I think ultimately the main thing you need to check is to make sure that the mapping in target is still sending out what you think it's sending out.
That's what I mean. I've got to remember what it should be sending out. It's normally I just set it to send something, and then when I want to set it up on War Thunder, I just hit the button, I tell it to detect it, but that's not working right at the moment. So I'm not sure what key combination I need to use. The other complication, you see, is that the Warthog will show either as a Thrustmaster Warthog stick and a Thrustmaster Warthog throttle, or it will show as combined. But even if I set it up as each, throttle and stick, for some reason it always seems to end up combining it. So it's knowing what it should be doing that's the problem.
Because the fact that you've got the resize error coming up, that would imply it's sending some form of alt plus something. And if you right click on the top left of a window, you get like the close, close, resize, minimize, restore, and all that.
Yeah.
There might, under one of the resize options, I don't know if you can expand it out and you get further resizes. I don't know if the target. It sounds like the target software is like causing the window to go into resize mode.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Some form of alt combination being sent instead of potentially what you think.
And yet, yesterday it seems to have flip-flopped between the two, because at some point yesterday it was working fine. Now it isn't. So I don't know why.
Well, you did a file check.
Let's put something back. Yeah. But I think it. When was it? I don't know at what stage I did the file check, and whether I flew afterwards. Yeah, that was Thursday. I did the file check on Thursday, and I've been flying since then. Okay. Temperature is sort of really nice on the CPU. It's really nice temperature. It's very stable. No fan surges. So right. I'm at a bit of a loss as to how to determine exactly what I've got to tell the target software to send specifically to War Thunder. I suppose what I can do is choose a combination. Yeah, if I choose a combination myself in War Thunder, and then prove that it works, and then go to target and set that combination, that should be okay, because I can prove it works by operating the keyboard. I don't know, guns and something else. Can't be guns. I don't know what it would be. I can't work. What's the default for firing guns in War Thunder? Are you in there? Can you look at your controls?
I'm in, but I can't look at them just at the moment.
Okay. Well, when you get a chance, if you can tell me what the option is, what the key combination is for firing both at the same time, 7.7s, and then 7.7s have to carry on firing when I fire the cannons, because I want all to fire at the same time. I know that that's not really the best way, but you can do it in a spit. You can do it by pushing the center of the button. You can fire everything at once, and that's the way I prefer to do it. But it's which combination of keys in War Thunder on the keyboard I would have to use to do that, so I'd need to know that default, or what you've got yours set to. In the meantime, I'll be jumping out of DCS, because this is all working fine. I must say I like flying in the flying in DCS is actually quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
As compared to flip out War Thunder.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna jump back in, shut down, and come out of DCS.
Okay. I know you can't necessarily speak whilst you're doing that. That's fair enough, but just putting this in your head for when you can. Did you see the DCS newsletter English Channel map, February.
Yeah, I haven't come out yet, so I can speak. Yeah,
Okay.
I did see that. I did see that. That does look that looks a bit tasty. So yeah, I'll have to be looking at that. I wonder how much it'll be though.
I would imagine the same as the Normandy map was. So what does that work out to be? About 30 quid? Because it
Okay.
was like a 20% off, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually, I can do that without too much feeling of guilt because I've got some Christmas lolly left over.
Right.
Right, I'm gonna shut down. But for the sake of a viewer that looks like still there, I'm gonna have to go back into War Thunder and set the guns to fire as required, and then I'll have to go out of War Thunder, come out of it completely, go into my target software and make it so in there, so that when I go back into War Thunder, the guns fire properly, hopefully. So I might be quiet and a bit gone for a little while. What I could do is stop the stream. If you are subscribed, when I restart the stream, you should get notification.
A bit higher than me.
Sorry?
Sorry, wrong button.
Okay, right, I'm going out of DCS now.
Okay. Sneaky.
I'm going to do a very quick test flight to make sure that my guns are still working incorrectly. Yep, they're still working incorrectly. So when Lexar gets a chance, if you could let me know what the combination is for firing cannons and 7.7s.
When you say the combination,
well, the whatever you've got set
just
on
how
your...
I've got mine set.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm just coming into returning to base at the moment.
Okay. Evening viewers, I'm just waiting for Lexor to check a setting for me so that I can set mine. My large caliber guns are set very oddly at the moment.
Right, settings.
Yeah, so settings, aircraft, weaponry.
Oh, that was screen's reloaded. Right, large caliber. Right, so basically I've got everything set to button 1 because I don't have a dual stage trigger. Now there is also a fire machine guns cannons assignment.
Yeah, but that's not a button assignment. Oddly, when you click on it, hang on, it's edit axis. That doesn't make sense to me that it should be an axis.
Yeah. No, that seems a bit odd.
So what is yours? Your fire machine guns and cannons? So is that like button 1?
I've got unassigned. Fire machine guns / cannons is unassigned. Small caliber guns I've got to my trigger. Large caliber guns trigger. Additional guns trigger. Now your trigger is obviously going to be 2 buttons. It's going to be identified as 2 buttons rather than 1 button.
Well, small caliber guns I've got C1, controller 1, button 1, but I can't tell it. Yeah. You can't type into that, can you? If I try to
hang on. What is button 1 on your joystick? Is that the first indent or second indent?
Yeah, that's the first trigger. Yeah, first pressure.
So when you try and map large caliber guns and map it to the second indent, what happens?
It does an odd thing. What it does, it gives me instead of saying, okay, this is going to be C1 or C1 button 6, which I think is what it should be, what it comes up with is plus question mark, and nothing happens with the option to cancel out of it. I'm just going to do that now, just to check that. Hold on. Right, I'm doing assign button. Assign button. Hold on. Oh, and of course, if I talk, it it takes my push to talk key. Hold on.
Right, you don't need to talk, but I can possibly flick onto your stream to watch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it ends up with press a button plus question mark. I'll come out of it.
That sounds like that definitely.
Let me know when you're on the stream, bearing in mind you'll be about 13 seconds behind me, I think.
Yes, I just saw the button plus question mark.
Right, I'm now going to assign a button and you'll see what happens.
Yep. So my stream is, or my viewing of your stream rather. Right, so it now shows, it showed initially question mark, and then you had a plus and question mark. So your
yeah, but before that it flashes up. It flashes something up. Let me do it again. Hold on. Oh, hang on. Something just happened then. I'm going to do it again. No, it didn't do the same. Right, hold on. I'm going to do it again. So you watch. When I go to assign the button, it flashes up, and I think it must be C1 button 6, but that goes away and it comes back with plus question mark. It goes away almost instantly. Here we go. It goes away so quickly that I can't be sure what it's actually telling me.
C1 button 1.
So it's picking up the first trigger.
The second indent in target. What is that set to?
I don't know, because I can't look at that whilst I'm in here. I've actually got to come out of War Thunder, go to target, and then check that setting, because you can't check it at the same time. To my knowledge. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I can't check it. Hold on. And you can't see what I can see. You'd have to be in thingy for that, in the other team thing. Hold on a minute.
Well, the other option is that you could share that application instead of War Thunder temporarily.
Hold on. I'm in Target Device Analyzer. I'm pushing my button 1. Hang on.
Okay.
Right, it shows button 1 lighting up. When I press all the way to the second pressure, it should show button 6, and it doesn't.
Yeah, I would say that is your problem, as I say.
But I don't know how to overcome it. I don't know how to make it.
Not using target. I'm rather not a user of target. I can't necessarily give you tons of advice there.
What I could do is I'll have to go out of War Thunder, go into my target software, see what it shows for small caliber guns on target, i.e. that first pressure of the trigger, and then make it the same, but somehow tell it it's got to be button 6. But of course it doesn't come up as button 6 in Target. It comes up as a combination of keys on the keyboard.
Why is that?
Oh,
Why is that?
because of the way this.
Does button 1, does controller 1, button 1, is that called button 1 in Target, or is that?
No, it's called something else. Yeah, it's called something else. I can't remember what it's called. But this is really frustrating. I can't use my guns in War Thunder at the moment. Well, I can use 7.7s, but if I press to fire my cannons, it just completely destroys it. It takes all control away.
The thing to check then is potentially, as you might have said, see what controller 1, button 1 sends. Do you know off the top of your head, what that key combination is that button 1 sends?
No, not off the top of my head. I'd have to go and, that's what I'm saying, I have to go and look. So it means that I've got to drop out of War Thunder completely, look at Target, because I can't get into that bit of Target whilst I'm in War Thunder.
Yeah, because I don't understand how that's supposed to work then, because War Thunder is saying I'm listening for a button press on your joystick. Your joystick software is saying I'm going to send a key combination. Something
like that. But the thing is,
so
it's currently registering as combined. It's not showing. It's not registering as throttle and stick. It's registering as combined. I don't know what causes it to do that. Whether I can change it, and if I do change it, whether it'll flip back.
I thought you've always been running combined.
Well, that's the other complication. Yeah, it's normally combined, but it works, and I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is that when you have like that key mapping thing, it's normally because War Thunder is set to use W, for example, for accelerate, and you don't want to change all your stick setup, or rather you're more comfortable changing your stick setup to say send W. So what I don't understand is if your stick is set up to send, I don't know, spacebar, because that might be the default guns keyboard button in War Thunder, but in War Thunder it says I'm listening for button 6, so it's like it's recursive almost. So what, it's sending one thing but listening to something else. I don't understand how that works.
No, the only way I can look at this is I'll have to drop out of War Thunder and go and look at and see if I can make sense of what's happening in Target software and make it do the right thing, hopefully, from that once I'm in it. But it means I've got to come out. So for the sake of, I've got a couple of viewers there, which is rather a pity, but for the sake of the viewers, I've got to come out of War Thunder. I can fly in DCS, everything works fine in DCS, but I have to come out of War Thunder to see what's happening in the Target software that goes along with the Warthog throttle and stick. So I will have to stop. So what I'll do is I'll stop the stream as well, so anyone that's subscribed will actually be able to they'll get a notification when I start streaming again. So that's the best I can do. So for the sake of Lexor right now, I'm gonna I'll come out of this and go to my Target software. For the sake of those that are watching, I'll catch you again later. I'm going to stop streaming now.